Welcome to another episode of Smash JT, and today we're going to be talking about these multiple Switch Mini leaks. Most of the stories, most of what everyone's talking about online, all come specifically from this image here, honson.com. My buddy Super Metal Dave on Twitter, I believe, was the first person to find this, and while a lot of these images look like a Switch Mini, I can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that most of them are fake. But there is one at the bottom left there that we'll just say is very interesting, and we're going to focus a little bit more on that one. JT. For those of you who may be new to the channel, you might not have known I made a video about the Switch Mini over a year and a half ago saying, did Nintendo accidentally announce the Switch Mini? And in that video I used an image that I found through a generic Google search when I typed in Switch Mini over a year and a half ago. And when you compare that image to the images floating around online right now, these are the same exact mock-up images that already existed previously. There is nothing new with a lot of these. It's the same exact Switch Mini that I talked about in my video. You can see the image there compared to the story that came out yesterday and broke and everyone's talking about. Here is our first glimpse at a Switch Mini. Those of you who have been following the story for a while would know right away that that's the same thing as the generic artist rendition from a year and a half ago that I used in my video. So yeah, nothing new when it comes to this image. But there is something very interesting along the lines of this leak. And again, I want to credit Super Metal Dave for finding this one here. A new Nintendo Switch console may have leaked full analysis and possible proof, and he uses the image of the rendition that is new from the bottom left of the corner from that picture on honson.com. Let's take a closer look at this thing. Here is an image of that Switch Mini from the bottom left corner of that sales page, and the interesting thing about this is I've been following the story for a very long time. I've seen a lot of different renditions of the Switch Mini. I have not seen this one. This is completely different from anything else. And honestly, not only is it different, but it looks to be the most realistic option when it comes to a Switch Mini. Everything about this thing looks legitimate. It doesn't look fake. It still has the USB-C port at the bottom, the speakers there. The analog sticks look different, like there's a bubble on each of them. But all the buttons look to be logistically in the proper location, and it looks sleek, it looks mini, it looks something like what Nintendo would make if there were to be a Switch Mini. And it even says at the bottom here, this black version of the supposed Switch Mini, which looks like a render, is markedly different from the gray system shown in the other Honson pictures. Which is true. Here's the gray picture of the Switch Mini. This one is generic. There's nothing special about this one. This is just an artist mock-up that they're tossing on there, trying to get sales before anything gets officially unveiled and shown off to the public. They want to get those purchases because apparently people want to buy something for an item that technically doesn't even exist yet. But the cat's kind of out of the bag when it comes to the Switch Mini. The interesting thing about all of this is this picture right here. Do I think it's real? I'll put it this way. If Nintendo were to make a Switch Mini, this is exactly what I would envision it to look like. I've said from the beginning, I feel like the Joy-Cons will be fused together on it. They won't be separatable like on the Nintendo Switch itself. They will be an all-in-one system. When people argue the fact of the Switch has to have removable Joy-Cons, I'd say no, it doesn't. You can just buy a second pair of Joy-Cons for any games that require it. And the only game that I can think of that requires you to remove them would be 1-2 Switch. And to be quite honest, I don't even know anybody that plays that game anymore. So as far as this is concerned, could it be real? Yes. Is it real? Potentially. It's an interesting leak for sure, and I don't know how a random Chinese company like Honson would have access to an official image of the Switch Mini before anybody else. Maybe Nintendo sent out marketing materials to a bunch of companies and let them know that this is coming because, like I said, I covered this in my other video about it. The Wall Street Journal said the Switch Mini is in production currently and an announcement unveiling is just around the corner. But still, strange that a company I never heard of in China selling accessories would have access to official images from Nintendo. Could it be real? Of course it could be. Is it real? Potentially. It's exciting though, because looking at this, I just want to hold that. I want to use that. I want to have it. I want to play it. I think that is perfect. That is exactly how I would make my Switch Mini. There is no question about it. It has everything in a nice, neat little package that anybody would ever want or ask for. If it is real, who knows what features have been added / removed from Nintendo's original Switch. Most likely this kind of thing would not connect to a TV, but maybe Nintendo added some other little bonuses to entice people to buy it. I'm thinking if they somehow incorporated the Street Pass feature from the 3DS, that would be fantastic. But at this point, it's just conjecture. We don't know for sure, but it is extremely interesting. I don't think this is real ultimately, but at the same time, I feel like the actual Switch Mini is going to look a lot like this. That's where I'll leave this, but I would be very interested to hear what you guys think about the situation. Do you feel like this was an accidental slip up when they were putting in their mock images? They actually slid in the real Switch Mini to their sales site for an accessory? Or do you think it's more likely that this is just an artist rendition that nobody has seen before and they just accidentally put it in with all the other ones when trying to sell these accessories? I'd be very interested to hear where you guys stand on this entire situation. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash and shake.